Becoming a millionaire isn't just some pipe dream. Statistics show that more than half of the millionaires made their fortune on their own. The lessons learned from them don't guarantee you the status of a rich person, but they are definitely worth listening to. The 50-30-20 rule. With this rule, you can plan your budget. Divide your income into 3 parts. The first part is the expenses of basic necessities. 50% of monthly expenses should go towards paying rent, transportation, utilities, buying groceries, and so on. The second part is personal expenses. It is assumed that you can spend 30% of your income on entertainment, shopping, hobbies, in general anything that makes you happy. The third part is savings. 20% of your money should go to a savings account. Of course, you can vary this rule a little bit to suit yourself. It will be especially helpful to increase the percentage of money that you will be saving and reduce the percentage of cost essentials. And you certainly shouldn't increase your personal spending percentage. If you really want to, then increase your income, and then with a constant percentage you will be able to spend more money on yourself without compromising the quality of life and the rate of capital accumulation. Go in for sports and take care of your health. The question arises, what is the connection between playing sports and making big money? According to statistics, 89% of people in significant positions devote their free time to sports. Ernst & Young conducted a survey among women executives, directors, and top managers. It turned out that 90% of successful employers started to engage in various sports. These statistics are impressive. Indeed, a healthy lifestyle helps a person discipline himself, manage his free time correctly, and understand the capabilities of his body. Some entrepreneurs, for example, even like to hold work meetings over a game of golf. It can be assessed what the interlocutor is worth. An important skill that sport can provide is the ability to play in a team. Indeed, often a team game allows you to increase earnings, gain new knowledge, and look up to stronger players, leaders. Work hard. What is the life of an ordinary average millionaire? Many strive for wealth, imagining what a serene life for people who own a large fortune. They can dress luxuriously, eat in the best restaurants, buy expensive cars and houses, and move around the world with ease. This belief is nothing more than a stereotype seen in the movies. According to statistics compiled by Forbes magazine, about 60% of billionaires and millionaires work 60 or more hours a week. Marissa Mayer is a woman who has made one of the most dizzying careers in the world. Formerly served as the president and CEO of Yahoo, and was a long-time executive of Google. In one of her interviews, she admitted that at the time of Google's launch, the team worked 130 hours a week. It sounds crazy, but workaholism is one of the factors in the success of a startup. Such data is unlikely to please an office worker who on average devotes only 40 hours a week to work. But after all, work means not only a daily visit to the office, but also a contribution to increasing one's own value in the labor market, learning languages, obtaining additional education, or just reading specialized books. The heads of large enterprises are professionals in their field with truly encyclopedic knowledge. Therefore, one should rather be afraid not to overwork, but to underwork. Be disciplined and determined. Raphael Badziak, an expert in entrepreneurial psychology, discusses the long-term habits of billionaires in his book, The $1 Billion Secret: 20 Principles of Billionaire Wealth and Success. He spent 5 years interviewing 21 billionaires, each of whom made their own fortune. And he found that, among other things, they were all disciplined. The billionaires I interviewed are the most disciplined people I have ever met, Badziak wrote. They put a high standard on themselves and on the people around them. After studying 500 millionaires, journalist and writer Napoleon Hill found that they all have one thing in common: determination. Analysis of several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly. Hill wrote in his book on personal finance, Think and Grow Rich: "Don't be afraid of failure." Psychologists say that emotional burnout at work is not associated with a large number of working hours, but with a lack of visible results from their actions. For many people, failure is a reason to doubt themselves and the correctness of the chosen path. But it is not for nothing that there is a saying: "The only man who never makes a mistake is the man who never does anything." In any work, the human factor is not excluded. It's important to think in time about the reasons of your defeat, draw conclusions, and calmly move on. One of Rockefeller's life mottos was the utterance, "I always try to turn every disaster into an opportunity." Therefore, a fiasco is just an occasion to take into account mistakes and build a new working scheme. The creator of the famous sweets under the Ferrero Rocher brand has been hampered by many events in the creation of a confectionery business. For example, it was difficult to get cocoa in post-war Italy. Then Pietro Ferrero created a dessert that contains almost no chocolate. The business was developing, but scaling was out of the question until there was a nuisance that almost ruined many years of work. One day the Ferrero family received a large order. Having prepared a lot of cakes the day before and put the sweets in the basement, the family went to bed. The next morning, Ferrero's wife found that all the pastries had melted overnight. The climate in Italy is warm. In desperation, Pietro tasted the lost dessert. Surprisingly, its taste just got better. Then the pastry chef made a kind of canapé and served it on the festive table for his customers. This is how the story of the familiar Nutella paste began. By the way, such production also turned out to be less expensive and therefore more profitable. It was after the incident with the cakes that Ferrero was able to open their first confectionery factory.